This is for all the software engineers out there. Every now and then you're getting lost in a section of a code. It's abstracted from the reality and you're trying to solve an algorithm that's going to only fix a little tiny component of a bigger program, bigger structure. And you are tasked with that and you spend days and nights to write that and try to get that answer, write that function, build that algorithm. And you're feeling like, what am I doing? What is it for? I don't have any purpose. What is my purpose in life? How does it link to anything outside in reality? That's what I went through. I felt like this is boring, this is useless, this is meaningless. However, I'm gonna tell you a story about that and how I changed that. So one day I was working for a big consultancy company and I was writing an algorithm to calculate the fertilizer amounts. Fertilizer amounts for certain types of grass. And I was writing that down and we were making jokes with my friends. I was telling them, oh, I'm calculating shit amounts. And they were laughing, I was laughing, but I was internally very upset about what I was doing. I wanted to do the cool, shiny stuff. I wanted to build a rocket or write a software program for amazing drone or something going on, something useful that I think that will be. Couldn't find a meaning at all. And I was so separated from the real world and whatever I was doing because I wasn't looking for it. Then I took a break, a couple of weeks of holiday. I jumped onto my car and I loved traveling by myself back in the day. And I love bread and tomato and cheese all together. I put them next to me, tomatoes, cheese and bread. And I said, I'm gonna drive as long as I can drive and find a nice spot under a mountain or something. I'm gonna have some food. And maybe I'll camp there and think and contemplate. I loved reading and contemplation back in the day as well, which I still like, but I was doing that outside in the nature. Then I started driving and driving. And I looked at all the bread and tomatoes sitting next to me. And tomatoes had a certain brand, and I was still driving. And I suddenly stopped. And because I recognized the big green building. That green building had all the beautiful silos in front of it and stacked up tomatoes. And plus, there was lots of fertilizing packages next to it. And the fertilizing packaging said the brand of the company that I was writing the algorithm for. I said, what a coincidence. They used that fertilizer for the tomatoes I have. Interesting. And I started driving further. I passed through the glass houses and everything. And I've seen the huge factory of that company, which were producing the fertilizers. And I said, oh, I'm writing the software algorithm for this company. And they are using the fertilizer for the tomatoes that I ate. And those tomatoes are sitting just next to me and I'm gonna have some fun. I'm gonna go and have awesome food and maybe crack a can of Coca-Cola I mean, and some cheese and bread, and I'm gonna just enjoy the nature. I started connecting the dots. I said, oh, whatever I'm doing, it is serving humanity in a way. So I'm not useless. I'm not spending my time on wasteful things. I'm doing something useful for people. People are eating food. That is how I started connecting the dots. Then I said, there's purpose in everything we do. Everything is interconnected. There is no separation. Oh, that was a big breakthrough for me. When I came back from that holiday to work, I actually went to my boss and I said, I want more tasks. I want more challenges, please. Give me another feature to build. I don't care whatever it is. I'm not going to complain about old technology, new technology, as long as it's something that I can connect to real life. And I will think about it. I'll proactively look for it. I will say, okay, I'm doing this right now. How does it serve humanity? That is when I started looking for purpose. What problem I'm trying to solve? What is the opportunity looking like? What kind of a value I'm bringing to humanity? That shaped everything after there on. Then I never get bored, and I started feeling that purpose because it is touching humans. As long as it touches humans, then I deserve my money. Much love.